Hi YouTube. So today I'm doing a rant video. I don't know if I've ever done one of these before. Basically it's about a business that I'm dealing with right now, and I have never in my life been treated so badly by a business before. I'm not going to say the name in the video of the business, but or in the title, because I still don't have my stuff from these people. I want to make sure that if this were to pop up, hi, before I get my stuff, I don't want them getting revenge on me. And yes, they are that crazy that they might do that. So after I get all of my stuff from my move from this company, then I'm going to change the name of the title of this video, and I'm going to hi, I'm going to change the name of the title to include their name, so that their name will not, their company will not, nobody could Google their company name without my face showing up to put them on blast and tell the world what they did, because it's disgusting. Honestly, I do not use that word lightly. I think it's absolutely disgusting business practices. You just don't treat people this way. So I'm going to tell you guys, okay, first of all, background on me. I've always felt that, you should treat the janitor with the same respect that you treat the CEO. I'm not one of those people who feels entitled to treat, employees badly, or or that the customer is always right. No, the customer is not always right. I firmly believe that employees need to be treated with respect. And I've had a few small little run-ins where I felt like I was disrespected by a company or employees, or whatever, but never anything like this. I don't remember the last time I cried before yesterday, and yesterday I cried 3 times, and all 3 times were because of this company. Okay, last night I ended up having a nasty headache because I cried 3 times, and because I didn't have time to eat either. So those 2 things combined gave me a nasty, ugly headache, and it was awful. And it's because of the way these people were treating me. And I was on the phone with them and the bank all day yesterday. Okay, so at this point that you've heard me talking for over 2 minutes, you're probably like, what are you even talking about? Okay, so those of you who follow me know that I just went through a major move, and I hired a moving company. Hi. So, me and my husband, at first we were like, maybe we can, do this ourselves, get a U-Haul and do that, we're like, but we ended up deciding, let's go ahead and his company that hired him, gave him the promotion that caused us to have to move. They were like, it's okay. No, we'll pay for all that. We'll give you money to pay for this move. So like, okay, we'll go ahead and we'll hire people to do this for us then. So the company, the way that this works is that the company that hired my husband, they gave us a certain amount of money to cover the expenses of this, right? So, and then basically they basically trust us to spend that on the move and not go take a vacation or something like that. And then next month we will have to show them receipts, so that they can make sure, if there's anything that we used it for that was not move related, then we would have to pay them back. So no problems there. Okay, so last month, we set up the appointment. We called a company that had 5-star reviews. This is not the company that I'm complaining about, okay? So the company that we hired, I guess it's like a broker or something like that, is called Monarch Moving Company. I don't know if that's just something that works in that's just in the Northeast, but they have really good reviews. Guy was really nice. They asked for us to give them a complete list of everything that would need to be moved. And so we did that. They gave us an estimate. We're like, great. We prepared for that. And all was, thought everything was okay. So the day of the move, or I guess it would be the day before we moved up there, but the day of where they were packing up our house and moving, these 3 guys, okay, wait, before that, okay. So, a week before the move, the guy from Monarch, calls and he says, hey, just to let you know, we will, we'll let you know, or we'll schedule with you a couple of days before your move to have a time planned for us to come by, and we'll make sure so you can schedule a time. Okay, so he told us, so we didn't have an appointment time slot, right? He said we'll call you a few days before, and you can let us know what time is good for you. Okay, so then on Wednesday they call, and he's like, it's like a different person that calls from a different company, and he was like, yeah, we're gonna be coming at 8 a.m. tomorrow. And we were like, oh, well, we were gonna schedule for you guys to come tomorrow, like afternoon or evening. And he's like, no, we can't do that. We are extremely crunched. We will come at 8, and we have to be out of there by 10 at the very latest. There was no room at all for them to move this around, whatever. So it was already like, okay, you got. So I was irritated already, because it was like, they told us that they would schedule with us, what time was good for us, what would work, and instead, they were like, no, this is the time, and there's nothing you can do about it, and they tell us this like the night before. And my husband had ended up, we planned for my husband to go to work during the day, and that, we would schedule the guys to come in the evening, whatever. I mean, I just feel like it's not smart as a woman to be alone in the house with, a bunch of male, presumably very strong movers, so I wanted my husband to be home. It would make me feel a little more safe, so my husband ended up taking off work for the day to make sure that, he was there with me, and he would also there to like sign stuff or whatever. We were both supposed to sign some paperwork. So the guys get there. There's 3 of them. 2 of them do not speak English, and which I don't really care, because they were just doing grunt work, so it's not like there was miscommunications with that, but it was just like they spoke no English at all, so it was like, you try to communicate with them or talk to them, and they were just like, I mean, and I don't even know what language it was either, because like I know a little bit of like a lot of different languages, like enough to get by on like a vacation, but they didn't speak any of that. So anyway, the one guy that there was only one guy that could speak English, and he told us, he had us, signing everything, and then like 20 minutes into them moving stuff out, he goes, hey, you guys, your stuff is taking up a lot of space, and we were told that you would only need this amount of space, and so, I'll give you a quote right now about how much it's going to be. It ended up being about 3 times more what we were quoted. So my husband and I were pissed, but it's like, what can we do at that point? Nothing. They've already packed up so much of our stuff. And the guy was like, do you want us to keep going? And it's like, again, we have no choice, So we were like, okay, yeah, just pack everything up and send us the bill, So they go ahead and do that. They left like several things behind too that we asked them specifically to pack. Yeah, they left like a lot of stuff behind. So we ended up having to pack more in our car, and it was like super, like so tight. And there was a few things that we threw away. Like we had to throw away a lamp, had to throw away a mirror, had to throw away a baby gate, because it was just like we couldn't fit it. And it was just, that was really irritating. So it was like, so not only is this costing us a lot of money, but now we're having to throw away things that we paid money for that was supposed to be included. Yeah, it was rough. So then, as you can imagine, my husband and I were already ticked off at this point. But we're always being polite to these people, these guys are low level, in the company. They're the mover. Hey, it's not like it's their fault, so we didn't give them any attitude or anything like that. And we decided to just, let it go. Fine, it's okay, we're starting a new life, husband has a promotion, things are going good. What? No, you can't. Sorry, can't play with sockets. So, there we go. So, my husband and I, we're like, all right, let's just let it go. It's okay, we have enough to pay for it. It's just going to be really tight for the first couple of months at our new place. It's going to be really tight, but we'll be okay. Okay. So now with Monarch, we were like, okay, instead of us all paying this at once, do you have payment plans? They said yes. We could split it up into 3 payments. So the first payment you pay when you schedule it with Monarch. So we paid that payment. That was no problem. The second payment you pay when a couple of weeks later, and then like the third is like a couple, like with each pay period, like we get paid every 2 weeks. So it was we gave him the first payment without issue, without incident, everything was fine. Yesterday, Thursday, is when our second payment was due. Okay, so we were given an account number and a routing number that we were supposed to wire $1,600 to. That was the second payment. Now, when they had given us the account number and routing number, they did it over the phone, and so my husband wrote it down on paper. And I guess he, okay. So anyways, that's important to remember. Keep that in your mind for like a minute from now. Okay. So my husband wrote down the account number and routing number, right? Okay. So, yesterday we go to pay the bill, and, I think it was lunchtime yesterday. Yeah, lunchtime. It was like lunchtime. I get this nasty text message from an unknown number, and it's this person saying, you owe us $1,600, so many cents, whatever. You have until 4 p.m. today, Eastern Standard Time, or you can forget about your stuff, your belongings. And at first I thought this was some sort of, I don't know what I thought. It took a while for it to register for me, because I was like, what the heck? Like, are they talking about our storage? What is this? And it's a completely different number. It's a New Jersey number. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? So I messaged back, I'm like, I'm sorry, who is this? And they're like, you know who this is. These are the people who moved your stuff. We haven't been paid, and we haven't been paid a cent for this, and we're not going to have you take advantage of us. And I was like, is this Monarch Moving Company? And they're like, no, we're the people, we're the company who Monarch hires. So apparently, like, Monarch is like the broker, and then they're the ones, and then like the people that were talking to me, I don't know, they're the ones who like move the stuff and put it in storage or whatever for you, because it has to be in storage, until we can get into our new apartment. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, well, I paid Monarch the first payment, and she was like, that doesn't go to us, that goes to Monarch. So we haven't been paid for anything. We've been taken advantage of. And I was like, well, I'm really sorry to hear that, but I sent you a payment today, and I was like, with the account and routing number information that we were given. And she was like, if you don't pay us the $1,600 today, we will put your stuff up for auction at 4 p.m. It will go into auction. There'll be nothing that you can do at that point. So I start panicking, right? So I call my bank, USAA, which I highly recommend. They are so nice, and they were so awesome through this whole ordeal. They were so great. Everybody I talked to, because I talked to like 4 or 5 different people yesterday, and they were so great, all of them. Anyway, they're like, yeah, it shows the money came out of your account, and here's the proof. They sent me like a thing to my email, and then it says like, my name, my account number, all that stuff like that, or whatever, routing number, and how much I sent and where to. So I was like, okay, all right, thank you for that. So I send that, I take that, and I send that as proof to this number, of the company, the moving company. And I said, so here's the proof that I sent it. It's on its way. She was like, well, it says here that you sent it at this time, at the time that you sent it. So that morning, yesterday morning, she was like, it only takes half an hour for it to get anywhere. So, and it's been 4 hours. So, you need to send the money. I was like, look, I'm showing you as proof that I did send the money. And she was like, you are not trustworthy. I was like, wait, what? I've never spoken to you before. I was like, the second payment is due today. I was like, I sent it. I don't, what are you talking about? And she's just like, you and your husband are untrustworthy people trying to take advantage of our family-owned business. We're not going to stand for it. And you can just forget about your stuff if we don't have that money by 4 p.m. today. I felt like I was dealing with a mob. It was like a mob family or something like that. It was scary. And I was upset, and I started crying because I was scared of them throwing out my stuff. Not only are these all my worldly possessions, but there are things in there that are irreplaceable. As any mother knows, as any parent knows, there's some things you just can't replace, It was bad enough like that my children would lose all of their toys. We would lose all of our clothes, all of our furniture and everything like that. And we would have to start over from square one. Like we wouldn't have any of our dishes, any of our kitchen, nothing, but the worst part that made me cry was thinking of my children's scrapbooks being thrown into somebody's trash. And I told her that. I said, look, some of these things, I was like it's on its way. I will do whatever I can to sort this out for you today. I was like, but please, I was like, I just as a human to human, I was like, please do not throw out my stuff. Please do not put it up for auction. Okay, I'm not sure what the problem is here. I will make sure that I take care of it. I will do everything I can. Please do not throw out my stuff. She puts back in capital letters, you have until 4 p.m. It was just, so I realized, okay, they don't care. They don't care that what I just told them, Okay, so then she messages back a little bit later. So I called my husband or whatever. I'm talking to him on the phone. I was like, yeah, okay. So I don't know why, but they're giving me hell, so I'm telling him about that, and everything. And then I was like, whoa, hold on a second. I'm getting a bunch of text messages right now. And he's like, okay, just, take care of it. Love you, have a good day. You're a rock star, baby. You got this. Okay. So I get off the phone, and she just sends me it was 4 text messages that she sent me, and it was this huge rant. She said, that is not the right account number. She was like, you guys did this on purpose, and, she thought that we were just scamming them. I said, why would we do that? Why would we call you guys up, give you all of our worldly possessions, pay you hundreds of dollars just to stick it to your company, just to spite you guys? Why would we do that? And she just kept saying, you have until 4 p.m. or forget about your belongings. It, like I said, it felt like I was being harassed by thugs. That's exactly what it was. It was I felt like I was being harassed by thugs. It was horrible. And I felt so helpless, and it was out of my hands. There was nothing more I could do. So I get back on the phone with the bank, USAA and everything, and I'm trying to figure out, I was like, wait. And then they realized, they're like, oh, I know. You wrote down a 1 where it should have been a 7. Or a 7 where it should have been a 1, I forget. But basically, because my husband wrote it down, it looked like a 7 when it should have been a 1, or a 1 instead of a 7. So it was just a simple mistake. I said, okay, how long will it take to fix this? They were like, it could be as fast as half an hour, we'll send it back through. They were so helpful, they did everything correctly for me. And then they said it could take as little as half an hour, or it can take as long as 4 or 5 hours. I was like, ooh, okay, well, that's pushing it really close, because they're telling me I have to 4 p.m. or they're throwing out all my stuff. Or not throwing it out, but they're gonna put it up for auction. And he was like, wow, okay, well, there's nothing we can do on our end. There's nothing you can do. The only thing you can do is just try to appeal to their humanity, and, and show them proof that it's on its way now. Because now I have another one updated with the correct account number that you can send to them as proof that you did what you were supposed to do. Cade, get out of there, honey. That you did what you were supposed to do. And just try to talk him down, and, so that was very kind. And, so I get off, I show them the proof that it's on its way. She said, well, if it doesn't get here, but now at this point, it's 1 something, 1 or 2. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, wow, I got 2 hours for them to get this money. I said, okay, he told me it might be late. It might be 5 or 6 tonight by the time you get it, possibly. And she was like, well, that's not good enough. I told you 4 Eastern time. And I was like, I told you it's on its way. You have proof that it's coming to you. I was like, what? I was like, wait, would you really do that? And she was like, hey, this is a business, and you should have thought of that before you didn't pay your bill. And I was like, I did pay the bill, and but she believed for some reason in her little head that we were trying to screw them over, or pull one over on them by using the wrong account number yesterday morning. Like, can you not see that it's an innocent mistake? And then just being like, and even after I literally, so I started crying again. And I was like, please don't do this. Please don't do this. And she basically was like mocking me. And she was like, no, she was like, this is what you get. You guys are thieves. You guys are untrustworthy. You guys are liars, and we're not going to let you take advantage of us. And it was like, also just hearing those things, even though I know I'm not a liar, I know I'm not a thief. I know my husband and I are both very trustworthy and generous people. And I knew that it was an innocent mistake that we corrected as fast as possible. It only took like a couple hours to do. But it hurt. I don't know why. And I think my period started this morning. So it's like, oh yeah, of course this would happen now, And I'm not blaming my period for this at all, okay? Because I had every right to be angry. But I couldn't show them that I was angry because they had all my stuff. I was uber polite, even groveling before them, because I when it comes to like, my family and our livelihood, I'm not willing to gamble with that. And they knew that. And I was just like, please, like, don't do this. I'm begging you not to do this. And she just had this, like, she was really getting off on the fact that I was crying, So it was awful. And I told her, I was like, look, but the if it's coming, even if it's late, you're going to get it today before the end of the day, but just maybe not by 4. I'm not sure if it'll be there by 4. And I've done everything I can. There's nothing more I can do. And they were like in a whole nother state. So it's not like we could have like pulled money out of an ATM and like given it to them or anything like that. There was like, she knew there was nothing that we could do. And I think they just wanted to make money off of selling storage pods, And so, Kate, get out of there. Oh, now I just need to go back real quick and tell you guys, after these people had picked up our stuff, oh my gosh, I got lipstick. I think I rubbed it on my hand and then I touched it. Okay. After these people picked up our stuff, we were like, okay, so I'm trying not to say the name of the company, whatever, but like when the guys got there, whatever, they're like, oh yeah, we're from this company. I was just like, and so we confirmed it with Monarch, like, yes, okay, we did hire, we sent them out to do it. And so I was like, okay, all right, I guess that's just how business works sometimes, like they send out the contractors or whatever. So I looked up the company online to see what we're dealing with. Let me tell you, all over Yelp and Google, there was nothing but 1 and 2 star reviews for these people. And people were angry. So I started crying again because I was thinking back to, I was like, oh my gosh, like all these 1 or 2 star reviews that we saw, and we were like, okay, maybe it's just a fluke, because by the time that we were looking up their reviews, they were already packing up our stuff. There wasn't anything we could really do. So we were just like, look, we're just going to hope. There's nothing we can do except for hope and pray that, they don't screw us over the same way they did to these other people. And oh my gosh, let me tell you, everybody else's story. And once I tell you this name, once I get my stuff back and I put their name on this video, I want you guys to go. I will actually also, when I update the title to include the name, I will also put in the description box links to their Yelp and Google reviews so you can read them, because oh my gosh, they are all just atrocious. They do this to everybody. Like they'll find a reason why they're angry with you, or you're short cents or dollars or whatever, or they'll take your stuff and not give it back, and they have all these different excuses, and then they'll and then they sell your stuff, or they threaten to sell your stuff. And there was like even one where this guy said that whenever they put his stuff up for when they put his stuff up for auction, he went to the auction to go. He figured out where the auction was, went to go buy it, and they prevented him from buying his stuff back. So. Okay, So like so people, like when they would auction off their stuff, then they would prevent them from getting it or whatever. And then also people who their stuff did arrive, they said that it just looked beat up. Like the guys just like picked up all the stuff and threw it into the truck whenever they took it to be like dropped off. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, so I like reading that scared me a lot, but I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna hope that, you know, like everything turns out okay. But like yesterday, just remembering all those reviews, it just made me realize like I'm dealing with crooks. These people are scam artists. And another thing I was seeing in the comment sections of Yelp and Google reviews was that they go by a few different names. They've been sued a few times. It's a husband and wife team that have done this to so many people. So I was very upset. But I didn't say this to them. Like I said, they had all my stuff. So it was like I kind of had to grovel, you know, before them because they really had me, you know? And she kept sending me 3 or 4 texts at a time saying like, and I was also I would talk to her on the phone too, and she would just she would yell at me and then she would hang up, right? So sometimes the conversations would continue on through text. I'm gonna have to just take this off because he keeps messing with the holder. So some of the messages, you know, it would be like over text message, you know, and I'd be like, why did you hang up on me? Why are you yelling at me? Why are you cursing at me? Why are you calling me these names and stuff like that? And then she would just, because she was aware that it was over text, then she would just say, you have until 4 p.m. or forget about your stuff. You know what I mean? So it was like she knew that I could like use this against her in a way or whatever. So she was careful what she would write in the text messages. But like on the phone, she was even worse. And it was like, I'm upset. I have anxiety over this because it's like I said, you know, I'm still not sure if I'll get my stuff back, even though we paid them. For all I know, they might have trashed it already. And like another thing that she was saying was, okay, so she was like, when she called them, when she was saying that we were trying to like con them basically, like even though they were the ones who had all of our stuff and we'd already like made a payment and there was like proof that it was on the way, she was calling us thieves, untrustworthy and stuff like that. And I finally got angry. I mean, well, I was angry this whole time, but I finally like let a little tiny bit of it show. And I didn't curse, I didn't yell or anything like that. I just said, I was like, this is why you have only 1 and 2 star reviews online. I was like, you can't treat people this way. I was like, the money's on its way. You have proof that it's on its way. I was like, and you're saying like if it's you know late by a couple hours, you're still gonna sell our stuff. And she said, I'm being nice to you. She was like, really, you know, I'd rather just put your stuff up for auction right now as soon as I get off the phone with you. So, and then she hung up on me. So then I'm thinking, oh my God, she took my stuff up for auction. So this went on for a while. At 2:45ish, 2:35 or 2:45, I can't remember. She sends a text that says, we received the payment. Thank you. Have a good day. And it was just like, the fuck? Like, okay. But it's just like, so I called my husband. He was about to leave work. But his boss was also like, so what's going on? Like, with this? Like, are you guys going to get your stuff? Or like, do we have to go up there? You know? What are we gonna have to do? You know, so my husband's like, so he's like, so she was calling us liars and calling us thieves, saying we're taking advantage of them and everything like that. Like, and you were giving them all the proof. I told him everything. And I was like, yeah, and I was crying too. And he was like, well, don't cry, you know, like I'll take care of it and stuff like that. Which I was like, there's nothing you can do to take care of it. We still don't know if we're gonna ever get our stuff back or if we're ever gonna see it again. Like, for all I know, she told the guys, go ahead and trash their unit, you know. So I'm still upset because I really don't know if we're ever going to get our stuff back. Oh, and another thing I forgot to tell you was while she kept sending like those messages and stuff like that, and like while I was when I was talking to her on the phone, she said, when I said if you sell our stuff, like, because I would understand if like you put all your stuff in storage and then you just like disappeared off the face of the earth and they couldn't get money from you and they're like, okay, well, we need to get money for like the work services rendered. I would understand if they auctioned off somebody's stuff, you know. And I feel like that shouldn't be your first resort just because a payment is maybe a couple hours late. That should be something that, I mean, that takes a long time to get to that point. Personally, that's what I think. But it was like that was their first resort was sell our stuff, you know? Humanity be damned. Like there was just no feeling. There was no, she didn't care. And I said, well, if you get rid of my stuff, and you still get my payment, are you gonna give me my payment back? She was like, no, we don't do refunds for any reason. And I was like, so you would sell our stuff, even though you would have our money, and we would not get our stuff back, we would not get any money back or anything. And she was like, no, our policy is we do not do refunds. Should have thought of that before you were late paying your bill. Well, I'm running out of time on my camera, so I'm just gonna end it right there. I mean, that's the end of the story, really. I will update you guys and let you know if I do get my stuff, and I will also update once I do get my stuff, fingers crossed, what their name is. Yeah, so stay tuned. And if you like my videos, please subscribe, ring my bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.